Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the microphones, it's Kenny. It's Jack. It's the Rock and Roll Up Podcast.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mates.
I'm Jack.
I'm Kenny.
Welcome to Megaphone Mondays.
Megaphone Mondays.
What is it? What is
week's
it?
Topic is
Go on.
gaming.
Gaming. Something
Where
close to our hearts.
We will stand on our metaphorical soapboxes
Or Xboxes.
or Xboxes, and we will be shouting out our most controversial opinions for all to see.
Tell you what's not controversial.
Yeah,
Our new jingle.
yeah.
Roll it.
Hit that jingle.
Just another Megaphone
Monday.
I think we can all agree. Pretty powerful stuff there.
Pretty powerful stuff.
So should we get straight into it?
Let's
I'm
get
quite moved
straight.
by that jingle, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I
Look,
think if I
compose
can
yourself.
regain my composure.
Yeah, are you going to be okay? Can you hold yourself together for this?
I'm trembling.
Yeah,
Feel me, I'm trembling.
yeah.
Let's get into it. You start because I don't know if I can.
Okay, my first Megaphone Monday on gaming is going to be this.
Go on.
The death of physical media in
Mhm.
gaming
Mm-hmm.
is overstated.
Nice.
Okay?
Go on. I like it.
So this is I think something that's arisen as a result of the death of
Like a-
other
like a-
much
Like a
loved
zombie.
things,
Yes.
such as CDs, DVDs.
Yes, very relevant, isn't
CD,
it?
remember when CDs came
I
out?
remember vinyl. Wow.
You don't.
I don't.
No.
Well, I see it, but
Did you have
often
tapes
in
when you were
HMV.
younger?
Yes, I had tapes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I did have tapes.
Did you make mixed tapes?
I've never made a mixtape. No, I've made CDs, compilations,
Yeah.
but no, never a mixtape.
Oh.
To my detriment.
I have made.
Oh dear. I bet you made some
Yeah.
stonking,
I did
ones.
make some I did make quite a few mixtapes.
Best of the
with
Venga Boys.
Kind of
Normally.
S Club 7,
And the Venga Boys.
Unrestricted.
Unrestricted.
Yeah, it's that interview I did with them when I was
Too
really
hot for
young.
TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, these kind of things have died, and with the modern world and the internet and things like that.
Yeah.
But the gaming industry is I think it's an outlier. It's something slightly different to those.
Right. Yeah.
It's a huge industry.
It's bigger than movies.
It's bigger than movies. I've got
Bigger and badder.
couple of statistics for you.
Have you? Go
Uh,
on. You've got the numbers.
2.5 billion people worldwide play video games.
Okay.
The UK industry, we're from the UK. It's doubled its value since 2007,
Wow.
right? And that is all with
That is crazy, isn't
that
it?
is all with a a growing digital media, but
Right. Yeah.
still a reliance on physical media to an extent. I looked at the stats of this, and I think it's hard to get them because a lot of the stats take into account that DLC and microtransactions count as part of it.
Right.
So it's hard to get
it's a bit muddled, yeah.
pure game sales as digital media. But
Pure game sales.
this is what my main reasons for this is essentially
Yeah.
the internet and the resale value. So
Okay.
so
Sure.
looking at most recent announcement of something like Google Stadia.
Yeah.
So they've said you need 36 megabytes to run 4K 30 megabytes per second.
Right. Yeah.
35 megabytes to run it. But that's what we're used to now.
Yeah. Well,
on
that's
our
no.
on our PS4 Pros and our Xbox One X.
That's yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
PS5's coming out in
Oh,
less than 2
too
years.
many consoles.
Project Scarlet's coming out.
I haven't even got a PS4 yet.
I'm thinking that 4K 60 frames per second on 35 megabytes sounds good, but
Yeah. But realistically,
the
it's
UK
actually
average is 46.
right. Okay.
And how far high are these graphics going to be up in a matter of 2-3 years?
You don't know. I
you
suppose you don't know how advanced they are, and they're just not telling us. I suppose I don't know. But
So
there's only so much. I mean, 4K like TVs and stuff
yeah.
that is kind of as high as you get right now. So
Right now it is.
But I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Couple of
I
years.
just think if we're at 46, we're only 10 megabytes ahead of what you need to run the highest Google Stadia, and that's the
Wow.
highest. Is that going to be comfortable? I just think
I don't know. Well, there's another argument, I suppose, of how good is too good, how crisp is too crisp. I suppose it's.
What's your favourite crisp?
I think my favourite is a salt and vinegar square.
Is it two's crisp?
I'll eat sometimes 2 or 3 bags of them.
Too many crisps.
Too many crisps is my problem.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think as well.
Get a greasy controller.
I hate.
You've
that.
got a problem with that, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to rub it. I have to rub it on my shirt.
Sorry?
It's all that rubbing out I do on it. That's the issue.
That's what it is, yeah. Clogging
I
it
think
up.
It's the resale value as well. Games are worth so much more than CDs and DVDs.
Yeah, they are.
And
They do
retain
hold their value,
They
yeah.
retain their value
do.
to an extent.
Yeah, even if you go in the old second-hand shops.
I just don't. I just don't. As a country lad
Go on.
in my youth,
You're a country boy at heart.
with my terrible internet speeds,
It is poor.
I don't think. And when you look at what the gaming industry's worth,
Yeah. £10, something like
10 billion
that. Dollars.
dollars.
Yeah.
Are they really going to put that at risk?
Uh,
But only people in cities can play video games.
Well, that's the thing, and we've always been a fan of a hard copy.
Hey,
I've still got some old CDs. I've got I sell games that I wouldn't play again, but any game that I
Yeah.
would consider playing again, I do actually keep.
same.
I've always felt a little uneasy just storing everything in the cloud. I don't like that. Although I have Xbox Game Pass and things, I really do like a physical game.
Yeah,
I like the idea of when I like something that I own it,
yeah,
in case it gets snatched away from me by the
yeah.
the gaming police. And it does hold its value still. We both get quite a lot of second-hand
Exchanging
games
them
and
in
things,
and
exchanging them.
Taking
part
them
of the
over
fun, isn't
someone's
it?
house and
That's it. Yeah, when you can't do that, it loses
Yeah.
that kind of collective kind of feeling that gaming is. It's kind of
Yeah.
a family group experience, and
yeah. I
if you
think
don't own something, it's kind of
It's like
strange, isn't it?
I think PS3, digital media is going to blow up. PS4, digital media is going to blow up. We're always told
Yeah,
the end of the disk drive is coming,
yeah,
and it never seems to come. And this
Yeah.
is my hot take: is that it will never come.
really.
As much as digital,
So what will
sales-
change, do you think?
well, digital sales will boost hugely. But,
Okay,
but let's be honest: for digital sales to take over,
yeah,
there needs to be a digital resale market.
yeah.
That's one thing.
Wow, yeah, that's
Prices
interesting
need
actually.
to decrease massively
Significantly, yeah.
on new games. I mean, you go onto I've got a PS4. Jack's got an Xbox. I know for a fact if I were to go on there and buy the latest game, they would be asking for £59.99,
Ugh.
and I could walk in to a retailer in the UK and buy it for 40, 42, 38,
47.
47.
Yeah, you could buy, organs on the black market for cheaper
Yeah.
than that.
So I could buy it
I have.
and have the ability to exchange it
Yeah,
for less than I could buy it digitally.
yeah.
So I think, and the third thing you need is better internet across an entire country, across the
Well,
entire
this is it.
world.
Not all of us have that kind of capability.
No, so
So
I really don't think that they'll take the disk drive away
no.
because
Well, they'll be severely
they
limiting the
will
sales and
lose
yeah,
people that don't have good internet. And why would
Yeah.
you do that? So
sure.
really, we'll always have physical media in gaming.
Maybe if anything slightly less, but still going to be there.
It will still be there.
So all the new consoles, PS5s, all going to be physical still.
PS6.
Oh,
a
dirty.
disk drive.
That would just be like a chip in your brain or something. Then, wouldn't it?
PS7.
We'll be dead by then.
47. Eh?
Oh,
Anyone
get in there.
get that?
Yeah, get the sponsors in now.
Yeah. But yeah, let us
Okay,
know what you
I
think
like
about
it.
that.
Well, I'm behind this. I mean, like I said, I like a physical copy, so I can't see them wiping them out completely.
Is there anyone out there who buys all of their games
Yeah, digital only.
digitally? I'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you.
And are you a robot?
And I'd like to know. Yeah, is maybe
Why?
maybe we're the weird ones.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if you don't have a lot of space in your house and stuff, like
Yeah.
I can't own. If people want to hoard games, it's easier to hoard them on a 10 terabyte hard drive than it is in your house. I kind of
Yeah.
get that, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just like to own it. I just like to hold it in my hand.
And the things with always online connectivity and things like that that's
Yeah.
caused issues when the net I don't want to have an issue where to play the single player of a story
Yeah.
of a game, sorry, and I can't because my internet's down. I mean,
I
that's
know, that's such a
ridiculous.
real world,
What
first
is
world
that
problem,
about?
isn't
What
it?
is
Yeah.
that about?
I can't play it right now. I can't have fun right now because the internet's not working. Yeah, no, I'm behind this. And whatever, even if it was to die out a lot, things come back round. We've seen from the influx of vinyl, etc., outselling a lot of other physical types of music and stuff.
Yeah.
It may well be some kind of underground surge of
Yeah.
interest in physical games in sort of 10, 20, 30 years, and they would come back around anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on board with this one.
Thank you.
I'm on board with this
Let
one.
us know what you think in the comments.
Of course. Well, sort of piggybacking off that in terms of kind of.
Oh, right. I just come up with all the ideas, do I? Or
Sorry.
who come up with that jingle idea?
Whoever wrote Manic Monday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of in terms of technology, VR will never gain mainstream success. That's my point.
Right.
Mainstream, as in,
Mass.
whatever one in 3 houses have VR capability, an Oculus or Project Morpheus or something.
Would like something like the amount of Wii's that were sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the amount of
Yeah.
Weezer albums were sold.
Weezer album.
That's right.
Only listen to the Blue album.
Yeah,
Don't bother.
don't bother with the rest.
No.
So, lots of reasons. I think first of all, the money it costs
Yeah.
is going to be extortionate. I think the technological capabilities that people will be required to have anyway, in terms of TVs or whatever, is going to be very difficult. A lot of people don't have that kind of money. They're quite dangerous. We saw from the Wii and things like that, a lot of people's stuff was getting smashed. A lot of kids were getting knocked out. Well, they were very popular for a while, but it was a fad, it was niche, it was a gimmick,
Yeah.
and it's gone. I don't really know many people that go, come round, let's play the Wii.
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen, does it?
That you look whilst you listen to this. Look down. If you're in your living room, look down.
Yeah.
What
Have
there's
you
a
got?
bloody Wii under the TV.
What you got
that
by your
hasn't been
t-
turned on for 7 years.
That's it, exactly. A lot of market testing shows people stop engaging very, very quickly with VR
Right.
for a number of reasons. I think first of all, it's not convenient. Let's
No,
just stick a game of
definitely
VR. Oh, I've just got to put this hat on now, and I've got to get on me. What this is very thing. A lot of people don't have the space for it because, especially if you've seen a lot of those compilations online of people falling over when they're skiing or whatever. You need a good chunk of space to be safe, and people don't have that in a 1-bed flat in Hackney. And I think quality of experience as well. They're not full, mostly anyway. VR games are not games; they're experiences.
Yeah.
You should experience this in VR, but they're like essentially arcade shoot 'em ups or like horror games or something. It doesn't look real; it looks cartoon. So you lose that kind of immersion. I think for me, I want to be immersed in a game, and I think that you get more of that by just playing it on a TV than you do whacking on a headset. I think actually in terms of motion sickness and things, there's a lot of stuff to do with latencies. Basically the delay between when you move your head in VR and when the image in front of you moves, it makes people really sick. And there's no real peripheral vision capabilities yet with VR. They're working on kind of a lot of kind of light field stuff to kind of work it out, but you're basically looking ahead, but as soon as you look the other way, you don't see anything, or you just see the headset. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just not that immersive. It makes you, if anything, it's kind of a bit detrimental to your health because you're kind of feeling rough, or you jump and you trip over and you smack your head on the table. It's not very, just doesn't seem very safe actually. And it overcomplicates gaming, I think, as well, because it should just be fun. It should be a group activity on your own. You're getting immersed. It's a story. It's a bit faffy. Having
faffy.
VR, isn't it?
I think for me, VR is very reminiscent of 3D.
Yeah,
and
totally.
If people aren't even prepared to put a pair of glasses on,
you know what 3D's
for a film,
it doesn't do great, does
then
it?
why would they put on a massive kind of
Well, we bought this for £1,000, and you'll play it 3 times and go, you know what? It's just complicated. This, I feel sick. My house isn't big enough. No one's coming around to play it because what if you want to go around with your mates? They've all got to have a £500 to £1,000 headset. That ain't gonna happen, is it?
No,
You'll be the guy that got it. And you'll just be lonely with your VR headset on, having a little cry. I just think it's great for theme parks.
I mean,
great for experiences if you can go to those escape rooms or whatever, and you wear one. Great in like a shopping centre to test it. Don't take it home with you. Don't take it home with you.
Let me just ask: have you in a shopping centre, one of those situations. Have you tried one?
I have never tried VR.
No.
No. Would that have changed my opinion? I don't really think so. I think maybe I would have been, oh, it was really cool, but
Yeah.
I would be interested to try it just to see what the experience is like. I always thought it would be a bit weird.
Do you know the most annoying thing about trying VR? Is that everyone wants to try VR, so the queues are
That's it.
absolutely huge.
Everyone's looking at
and everyone looks
I
at
don't
you.
like that.
I tried it once.
Really? What did you do then?
So I went to
One of those Pornhub ones.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I'm going to bring up. National Video Game Arcade, which is now shut in Nottingham.
Oh.
They had an out of hours.
An after hours club in the basement.
Yeah, talking about that. Yeah, back on that Pornhub stuff. So that we booked an out of hours event for
That's quite cool.
Whilst I was working for a job at Trent University.
Mm.
So it was dead, and I stumbled across this VR headset and sort of had basically unrestricted access to it.
Wow.
However, only to one game. So I played Rez.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that game? It's that one where you like fly through and there's all music.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It was cool, but that's like you said.
That's it, isn't it?
It was cool.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's niche, and I think for it to really catch on, it needs to be affordable. It needs to be way more inclusive, and I think it needs to look better.
I would say as well that the games need to be considerably better.
Like I said, they're not games.
A lot for me. I think VR it's essentially a tech demo.
It is really. Yeah.
Look what we could do with virtual reality in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it is in its infancy. It is, and people they've been working on it for ages. But realistically, it is still in its infancy. But maybe behind closed doors, they've done some crazy stuff. I'm sure they have. But not for me. I don't think I'd ever buy.
I'd like
buy a headset.
I would like to try, especially I think, Resident Evil 7. They did VR.
I don't know if I'd be too jumpy.
And I'd like to try it just to see how it was. But yeah, I agree with this. I think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's too faffy. And, people don't want gimmicks.
No, that's it. You want
gimmicks
longevity and
never catch on.
It will sit on the shelf.
Gaming and media, gimmicks don't catch on.
Exactly.
So I'm wholeheartedly in agreement.
Well, that's it. You can place it on the dusty shelf next to your Wii. That's going to be in Toy Story 5.
Yeah. What else do you think? So you'd have your
N64. A lot of people still pull them out.
Then your Wii. What
then
else
your
is
Wii.
something that everyone would have had? Which now
PSP.
Oh, don't upset me.
They were okay.
Yeah.
They were alright for travelling.
Yeah. What else might have been?
I'm sure there's well, comment if anybody knows.
Next to your Walkman.
Yeah, Walkman. Yeah, I still
CD
somewhere
Walkman.
in a loft somewhere in a loft in England. I have a black Walkman that I took all around the place with me.
Yeah,
Probably very lonely in a box somewhere.
I found a CD Walkman for 50p at a boot sale and went fucking mental.
Yeah,
I was so happy.
really.
I was like, it was before, so I didn't have portable music.
No,
at all.
Changes your life, doesn't it? When you can walk around.
And it was like 50p, and I was like, for 50p, I can walk around and listen to music.
Yeah,
like that's absurd. And then within maybe a couple of years or a year, I had an iPod, and obviously that blew.
Isn't it funny? Yeah, I remember that when I moved to an iPod.
Yeah, my first experience of walking around was actually just walking around with a CD player.
Yeah, just holding it.
Just love it.
Or sometimes putting it in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
don't tip it up though.
Yeah. Next to your Walkman.
Yeah.
And then next to your
big strip of Hubba Bubba. Yeah. There's lots of gum, wasn't there, in the 90s and early 2000s?
So much gum.
And it's got bigger. Yeah. Why has gum got bigger?
Do you remember you had like that roll that was a red,
yeah.
It was like
a wheel of gum.
A wheel of gum. The thing with
like
those
show
that I had a massive problem with was they were so delicious. I always swallowed them.
Oh no! It's still people will say that. Oh, it's still in your gut now. It's still there now, rotting away.
I always find if you have gum that's too tasty, that it's like I have in the past tried to eat
toothpaste.
Body Shop mango body butter because it just smells so delicious.
Okay, should we talk about this?
No,
when did this happen?
Well, it smells.
You got some suds around your mouth now.
Yeah.
You've been chomping down on some Dove.
Yeah. Dove don't smell that nice.
No.
No.
Anything from Lush or Body Shop smells heavenly.
Yeah. So you go, oh, I wonder what it taste like? It smells like
just soap because it is soap.
Soap, that is.
I remember there was a popping gum. It was like Pop Rocks, but it was gum.
Yeah.
And I fell off my bike once and swallowed it. That's the only time I ever swallowed gum. I could have died then. Maybe I did.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I did.
Maybe you did die. But you just Jack's gravestone surrounded by Wii's
Yeah.
and VR headsets,
Yeah.
mainly Pop Rock chewing gum.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's an emotional scene. It's
Yeah.
almost emotional as that jingle. Shall we move on to your next point, sir?
Okay. My next point is going to be that the GTA, meaning Grand Theft Auto
Oh
game.
yeah. Don't know you spoke Latin.
The GTA era is over.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that lie with you?
If
that?
I think it depends where you're going with it, but I think I'm on board with this. If you're going the way I think you're going,
Okay.
if it's GTA, you're probably at the wrong side of the road.
I'm probably going to that alleyway to,
Be up some people.
well, probably have sex with that hooker and then kill her for the money that I just gave her.
And then playing GTA.
And then turn on GTA
Yeah.
on my PSP.
Oh no! Throwback.
So this is my idea, and I don't say this with any happiness because I love GTA. I think that in the future, GTA 6 is incoming
Yeah.
at some point. Gameplay, graphics, freedom, mechanics—they're all going to improve and increase.
Of
but,
course. Yeah.
It will play better. It will look better. It will be bigger and more immersive. There'll be more.
The map is going to be mental.
There'll be
We
more
just know it.
people interacting,
Yeah.
much like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
But the heart of GTA is the satire.
Yes, there's a lot. There's a Britishness to the satire and the comedy,
The satire
the irony.
of the Western world, the American kind of capitalist system.
Yeah.
And
Very smart.
we are now in a position where we're kind of over satire. We're in like a post satire.
Yes,
When I
to
was,
agree we are. Yeah.
looking into this point, a post truth and post satire era where
Yeah.
truth is no longer important, and where things have become so absurd. How can you satirize something where the president of the United States
Yeah.
literally talks about grabbing women
Yeah.
by their genitals?
Yeah, the real world has become is that truth is stranger than fiction
Yeah.
adage, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
it really is now. This kind of escapism and craziness and wackiness and surrealism of these
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
is no longer that impactful because we do see stuff like that on a regular basis.
I think we're maybe comedy is political comedy is very hard to make these days because like
it is
you
yeah.
said on a previous episode, we have never heard a good Trump joke.
No,
I've never heard a good joke about
but
Donald
everybody's
Trump.
joking about him all the time.
Everyone's- liberal satire is at I'd say possibly an all-time weak period.
And are we thinking this is because the kind of it will offend people? Is that the way we're going here?
Yeah, I mean,
People are scared to drop those kind of references in for fear of being deemed this or that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other strand that I was that I would say also is that outrage is much more pronounced, and even people like Trey Parker, Matt Stone, South Park,
Well, they could never get
creators
away with
have come out and said we don't think we could have made South Park.
I think that would be true to maybe 50, 60, 70% of things.
I would, yeah.
Comedy, certainly, that's on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at a position, I think, where if what they want to say might not be allowed, and what they could say is so narrow.
Well, it's policed, isn't it?
Because
Yeah.
it's what could you make up about political social systems in the US and in the Western world that isn't more crazy than what real life is?
And I suppose it's not just the commentary on things like that, but also the things that you can do in the game, like you were joking about. You could go and rob people, you could get prostitutes, you could do all this. Will you be allowed to do that now? If you beat up a prostitute in a game, and that causes crazy amounts of blowback and protests and things.
Yeah.
Is it worth them doing that for the sake of keeping the kind of GTA franchise a bit controversial? Or will they just go, now there's no way we're risking this financially, it'd be a disaster, we're going to really bubble wrap this game and make it very safe, really kind of dilute it perhaps? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that would happen.
No. So you think there's some actions in a game that would not have real world ramifications?
I think that there are ring fenced exclusions, and GTA is one of them, and South Park is actually another. As we spoke about that, I think. Kind of people don't go at South Park anymore. They don't go for them because they know.
I suppose not majorly. No.
I mean, they still do stuff that's really controversial, but
is
the
that
media
because
don't go for them because they know they're kind of. It's like Eminem. People don't go at Eminem anymore because
they're allowed to.
He's like survived. Yeah, I think it.
Why is that? Is it they've got their own protective bubble somewhat? Because is that longevity? Is that because they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it because they've said something that the majority agree with, and that makes it okay? I don't know.
I think the media have already attempted to take down GTA, much like they've attempted to take down Eminem and South Park, and
you'll always see
kind
things
of failed. So it's kind of new things that I think if you were to create, if a new gaming studio were to try and create a game that did super controversial things like GTA, maybe they'd have more blowback.
So if GTA wasn't a thing and they were making it this year, what do you think would be different?
Well, I think, that there would be quite a lot of differences.
Yeah. In terms of story arcs and things, would there be as much drug stuff? Will there be mainly male characters? Will there be female protagonists?
I guess there'd be probably... they'd probably have a female protagonist. Yeah. Much earlier. Yeah. Maybe in the second game or even the first game. Yeah. I think probably the being able to get prostitutes, and then I don't know.
It's difficult. Not that we're saying
at the same time with an open world, and you're saying it's open New York, and it is a game about crime.
Yeah, of course it is.
What can you strip back? I don't know.
No, I think there's certain leeways. It's artistic license, but of course, if it's a game about drugs and that, it's going to be about drugs, so there's going to be violence. But and not that we're saying, these changes would be bad or these shouldn't happen. I just think what you're saying is, it's just not going to be the same as it was anymore because of the age we live in, and I think that's totally. I don't quite know what it's going to be.
I'll be very interested to see how they approach the satire and the comedy, because it's we're living in an age now where the things that were storylines possibly in GTA 10 years ago are now real.
And some of the more acceptable stuff then is just not acceptable now.
Because they go at things like reality TV and things like that.
Yeah.
That's
dominates, isn't it?
The craziness is real, people. And how can the things that they're meant to take society? They're GTA's kind of. I've always seen it as like a mirror to society dialed up to 100.
It is. It's kind of a cartoonish.
It's like this is
reality.
What you are at your worst. But how could they? I mean,
I don't know.
How could they do that?
They'd either push it as far as try and go further than that, or go a completely different direction. I just don't know. Yeah, it will be very, very interesting to see. But will it be the same game? No.
Yeah, I think
it won't be.
The time of really good satire. Is possibly over.
Yes, at least promoted satire anyway. Yeah. Interesting. Well, very good. I agree.
Yeah,
stamp it down.
I mean, still excited for the new GTA.
Oh yes, I mean they're going to be good. They've always been fun, but it's not going to be quite in the same league, I don't think. Perhaps.
Maybe not.
Well, talking of that, things changing. Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
My next point.
You love Assassin's Creed.
I do. I've always adored it.
I've always loved it.
I think it's worse now than it's ever been. That would be my point.
Well, now.
There will be people that disagree, of course. It's going to be the way. When it's a franchise close to my heart, of course, I'm going to be biased in a sense. And I've tried to be pretty objective with it. I'm sure people... I can't explain the whole premise of Assassin's Creed if you don't know it.
I don't think anyone can.
No, please Google it, because it's a very interesting story. There's comics and all kinds of things associated with it, and books.
There's a book, there is
several books. I think there's almost at one point there was a book for each game.
There's comics, isn't there?
Yeah, there's some graphic stuff out there, yeah.
Wow.
your mission as an assassin is to kill your target. We all know that. In this case, Templars, they come from the Knights Templar, blah, blah, blah. The story moves through from ancient times to modern day. You play in both ancient and modern. The Templars have always been the assassin's enemies, and vice versa. You've got to kill them with or without being detected. So it's very stealthy.
Yeah.
There's mysteries, there's conspiracies, there's secrets, there's modern day elements with technology and artifacts and gods and ghosts and ghouls and collectibles.
Ghosts and gods and ghouls and collectibles.
Yeah, I can rap about it if
Are
you
gonna
want.
Say something about
I'm an assassin.
Columbine as well, or
Just
you being controversial?
that would be an Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed Columbine.
Please don't.
Yeah, don't do
Please
that.
Don't.
So your mission is to be stealthy and kill people without being discovered. Not in the new games, baby. You're waltzing in with machetes. You're killing tigers and hippos.
Yeah.
It ain't the same game.
You're
you're fighting animals on the beach. There's hundreds of warriors. I'm not into it.
Yeah.
If you want to make an open world RPG in Greece, call it Grecian Adventures.
Yeah.
And make it.
I mean, don't call it that.
Don't call it that.
Don't go into
call
marketing.
it Grease Lightning. Call it that.
Grease Lightning.
It's got worse controls now. It's got worse scripting. It's got worse character arcs. There's tenuous links to the old stories because what they've tried to do is rebrand it and go, well, we'll make a completely different game and franchise, but just link it to the moneymaker that is Assassin's Creed. Arguably, it still makes quite a lot of money, that game.
Oh, it makes
we know what we think of Ubisoft by now.
Yeah.
They're thieves a lot of the time, and they don't always put the effort into making a game that they should. We know that. I thought the early games were fine. They had their issues with controls, of course, and glitches, and everything does. But the storyline, especially the Ezio stuff, even all the way through from 3 to Black Flag, very heartfelt, very interesting narrative. Looked great, the kind of the glitches and that kind of thing was almost a part of the experience in a way. The maps were great, the buildings were great, it was all mapped out.
Yeah.
Now everywhere looks the same, man. It's all villages, and it's beautiful, but everywhere you go, it just looks the same. You know, the movements, there's kind of no pacing to it. It's kind of got that Witcher thing of sort of when you're in a fight, you can sort of seem to be able to float around the ground and not really kind of walk. Yeah, it's typical kind of RPG stuff. There's just no real pacing, no weight to the movement, which there was, especially in Assassin's Creed 3. There was a real kind of weighting to the control system. I know a lot of it was kind of button bashing and kind of once you knew how to fight people, you could kill 30 or 40 people in a town square. Of course you could. I thought that was part of the fun of it. Is it realistic? Well, perhaps not. But I could barely tell you what happened in the last game. I don't really remember.
So we're at a kind of point where... So are we talking basically Origins and Odyssey?
And Odyssey, anything beginning with O. Yeah,
they're the two with the change.
They're the two that they sort of rebrand. They've tried to keep it. Oh, there's some of the little bits of the old artifacts and things, but really, because they've said it pre-Assassins being formed, I suppose at the end of Origins, spoiler alert, but it kind of was formed, but they've kind of managed to get out of a jail free card. We don't actually have to make it about Assassins and Templars because they weren't invented yet.
Do you
Why is it called Assassin's Creed then?
Yeah. So I mostly agree.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would be that it would be good to say that I think they're good games? But they're not
fun.
Good Assassin's Creed games.
No, they're fun, but
like you said, if they were renamed,
fine.
They'd actually. I mean, I played Origins for quite a while.
Yeah,
and it was fun. I liked it.
It is fun. No, it was fun. Yeah.
It certainly wasn't an assassin. It was an action adventure game.
This is the difference, and it was an average action adventure
to
game.
The Witcher than it was Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I think exactly, and I could just tell you loads more things that I don't like about it, but the main thing was the stealth. There's way too many enemies, and they all find you immediately. So there's no real stealth aspect, and enemies level up when you do, which means they're really good, and then whatever happens, you're never as good as them. So you have to keep buying more stuff, and it's just a kind of a continuous cycle. And I don't know, it's just lost its soul for me. And storyline's a big thing with games for me. I'm not a religious 70-hour-a-week gamer. So when I stick with a game like a Red Dead Redemption 2, for example, I was playing that for 4 months. You know what I mean? I really I'm immersed in that game again. There's that word again, immersion. But I'm really with the game the whole way. And kind of the last 2 Assassin's Creeds really are just kind of hack and slash, stick it on. I don't want to lose myself in it for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not that invested. The characters just aren't that interesting. And I think coupled with kind of repetitive gameplay, it just kind of loses it for me.
I think you love the lore, don't you? And I think with the lore missing,
I think so, yeah.
It seems soulless.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas, the thing that I would say to that is that the funny thing is that my favourite Assassin's Creed game is probably the game that is least like an Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
And I think is actually the best Assassin's Creed game, which is Black Flag.
Yeah, it's a great game, but it's a kind of a pirate game, isn't it?
It could be a Ubisoft pirate game, and these could be Ubisoft action-adventure games without stealth elements.
And that's fine.
Which is fine, but I think...
it's cut the cord. Either make a new game and don't call it Assassin's Creed, or you have to... All right, you can change some of the controls, whatever, but you have to keep the storyline elements and some semblance of this is good versus evil, this is Assassins versus this is to do with the lore, because otherwise you're treading this kind of ground between, well... We've got 1 foot in a new camp, 1 foot in the old camp. You're annoying the older fans. You're trying to get in new fans, but it's still attached to the old name.
I think that was the thing. With the new games is that the gaming media reviewed them well, but then
they did.
I think
it did very well. But is that because Ubisoft have wronged them, and there were so many similar Assassin's Creed games that because it was different, they were like, "Oh my lord, this is the new."
But
you know what I mean?
What I was going to say was that I think on something like Metacritic, the score was high, but I think the user score was really low.
Yeah,
and I know people, you know, they review bomb and things like that.
There's always going to be,
but there was, but I do think that the bad reviews were from a community of hardcore Assassin's Creed fans that bound together to review bomb the game.
Yeah, I could agree with that, and I'm certainly not because it's different and I don't like it. It's never that. I welcomed it. I bought the game. I played it. It just doesn't feel the same to me. And I think they've improved in visuals. I think they've lost in storytelling, mechanics, and good kind of narrative. Character development. Okay. So I don't really care, and I want to care.
You want to care?
I want to care.
Yeah. I think
there we are.
The only way to... I said for years the only way to fix Assassin's Creed was to scrap everything and start again, and they did that, sort of, but they've sort of just not made Assassin's Creed anymore.
That's it.
I think scrap everything and start again, but make it a stealth action game.
Those are always the best bits. They always are.
So, and the thing that I didn't like about I haven't played Odyssey. The thing I didn't like about Origins was the size of the map, to be honest.
It's humongous, man. And I'm one of those that wants to collect, as much as I can. Do as much as I can. That's exactly it, mate. If it was all different, I'd be like, wow, this is daunting, but I can't wait. It's all the same.
Like the one...
much sand.
You know them better than
Assassin's Creed, so much sand coming to you.
Which was the one in London?
Syndicate, a fun game. Yeah.
Had a lot of glitches, had a lot of bad press, but
actually,
with it being London, I thought it was really cool.
Visually, very dark and cool. Really great. Yeah.
So I much prefer those very tight cities.
That's it. It's the claustrophobia.
The London one, and but then again, I loved Black Flag, which was so
that was expansive. A bit more samey, but it had so much more freedom than any of the other games, and that was what was really cool.
But Origins was just a slog. I didn't mind it, but from one place to another was so long, and didn't.
That's it, man. I don't want it to be a chore.
I want to be jumping between buildings, not getting sand between my toes.
Exactly. Yeah. You want sand between your toes? Go to Cornwall.
Exactly.
Go on then.
So,
what's your third?
My last one is going to be on the topic of kind of the moment, and has been the topic of the moment for a long time.
Yeah.
Loot boxes.
Loot box. Very relevant.
Loot boxes.
Loot box.
So, a couple of weeks ago, we had EA and Epic Games go in front of the UK Parliament.
EA. Hey up.
talking about how loot boxes were just, what do they call them? Surprise mechanics or surprise game mechanics.
Not really a surprise.
Yeah. So
Luke Box.
this is my opinion on loot boxes.
Go on.
Okay.
Shout it.
And okay, not every loot box
He's composing
sold
himself.
is to a child that doesn't know what they're doing.
Of course not. No.
Not every loot box sold is being sold to a gambling addict.
No.
We buy them, so they make them.
WeBuyAnyCar.com. Yeah.
So that's why they supply them.
Oh, yeah, it's not as if nobody's buying them.
It's
yeah,
supply and demand.
It is, I suppose. No.
If-
If nobody bought, they wouldn't do
It's
it.
a reaction to the market. It's simple thugonomics.
It's just simple thugonomics.
Um,
No, and the thing is, everyone always calls for a boycott, and nobody
Yeah.
ever
well,
boycotts
that's
loot
it.
boxes.
That's what I mean. It's
Even with Star Wars, they were like, "Oh, all right, we might
Yeah.
not do them." Just
Yeah.
did them anyway.
it's like, okay, we don't like the idea that what we used to get was a game that was as a whole, and now we don't get a game.
This
that's
is the
as a whole.
thing, isn't
Okay,
it?
fair enough.
Is
Yeah,
it
I can
half
see
finished,
that.
and you're buying the rest of the game?
But-
I can see that argument.
Okay, that's yeah, I do as well. But the,
sometimes
the
it is
argument
true.
against loot boxes being gambling and being, and that children are using it, and then that's effectively gambling.
It kind
that
of
is
promotes
not
a
big enough percentage to have a government ban on loot boxes.
No, of course not. No.
You know, you can't change things for the minority. You have to think it has to
Yeah.
be applicable to the majority.
I would think most people buy them to level up, to get better, to
Yeah.
be better in
to
the game.
get a different skin, or I mean, you know, I don't buy loot boxes per se, but I'm very into FIFA Ultimate Team, so I buy card packs. I mean, they are loot boxes.
Yeah.
It is gambling, and
But do you buy them to be because you don't want to be left out, or do you buy them to improve?
well, no, I buy them because it's, you know, I've got my Ultimate Team and I want to try and make my team
make
better,
improvements,
and
yeah.
you know, it's one of those situations where it's not as damaging as people make out them to be.
No.
And if we didn't want them, we wouldn't buy them, but we buy them.
Yeah, the thing that frustrates me about them is when it's, this is a half-finished game. You know, there's no way you can complete this without buying more. I've spent 60 quid on the game.
There are
I don't want to
elements.
spend another 60 quid. It's
I mean,
not fair.
The most egregious, I think, was Shadow of War.
Yeah.
The Shadow of Mordor sequel, where you had to do like a massive. You did the story, and then you had to do the massive grind in which you had to buy orcs for your army.
Yeah, no,
to be able
that
to get
is
the actual
shameless. It's shameless.
ending, and
Yeah.
that is absolutely awful. But when people moan about like, you know, Apex Legends or Fortnite, I mean, these are free games. They've got to monetize
The thing is
somehow.
that there is that they've got to make money. I get that, and in a way, loot boxes are just an extension of DLC. In that,
yeah.
this is the game, but actually, if you want to know what else happened, buy this. Spend
Yeah.
money on this. Occasionally, they'd give it away for free.
Yeah.
It is a continuation of that.
And that doesn't excuse the fact that children buy them, and it is gambling.
Oh no, that is terrible. Yeah.
But that's not the minority.
Should there be an age cap?
100%.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
has to. But we
18 or 16.
we have to view this in reality. You know, my child spent £1,000 on loot boxes on Call of Duty Blackout. Well, it's a 16+ game, so
Yeah,
why
well,
is he even playing
Look
it?
at your parenting, and of course, there's
You
way
know,
more to it than that.
But yeah, without doubt, we cannot have children using loot boxes. They will spend loads of, you know, these free-to-play games.
it's a slippery slope, especially when
know,
you're that young and you're learning that kind of behaviour. And
but
I get that.
You can't change. You can't have government regulation
No.
for a minority of
Yes,
of cases.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
And you know, I don't buy a massive amount of them.
I've never bought a loot.
And I think, you know, that it's personal preference, but it wouldn't be being done if it wasn't profitable.
No.
So, you know, it's the masses. That's
yes.
what's being asked for.
I agree. I think we do live in that kind of disposable, instantaneous kind of society where, I can be better than this person. I have to spend money. Then it's very easy to spend money in that kind of the contactless era that it is now. It's very easy to spend money.
Yeah, it's
When
easy
it
to
is
spend money
promoted.
beyond what you've
Beyond
what
your
you've
means,
spent.
yeah.
But I mean, we have to have some form of we can't be blaming everyone on everything else.
It is your choice how you spend your money.
Where's your self
Yeah. Regulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is. When it's only a half-done game and you have to buy the rest, I think it's terrible.
Without doubt.
If it's just, you can buy some more armor, you can buy some more stuff, you can buy some more cards, you can buy some more players, cool. I will either choose to do that or not because I'm an adult. When there's a kid involved, don't let them have access to buying stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe there should be some kind of age cap kind of there.
I think we have to take personal responsibility for some part of this.
Yeah.
In that,
it just reflects our society, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Ultimately,
I think so.
we always want more. We want to be better.
We want to look cooler.
We want to look
than everyone
cooler.
else, and
It's so easy to spend money.
yeah.
We're always wanting the next thing.
Yeah, I think maybe we will see the end of this issue when it comes to children, when you consider that the people now that are having children are born 95 onwards,
Sure.
2000 onwards, and that they're all going to be tech savvy. Is it to do with the fact that when you set up a game, your child is playing it, but you have no idea what it is, so you put your card information in, not knowing that they have the ability?
there's an unknown.
I think we need to be more savvy with getting to know what our what children are using, and that maybe our generation will have a better idea.
Isn't it funny? It always used to be that way, even in terms of physical games like we spoke about earlier. Oh, mum, can I have GTA? And she doesn't really know what it's about and goes and buys it. And then another mum stops her and goes, no, you do know this is an 18 plus. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
I suppose it's always happened, but it's slightly easier these days to put your details in and go, yeah, okay, love, do what you got to do. And you walk upstairs and they've just spent 500 quid in your card.
But maybe as we will become the adults and the parents.
Oh, I'm never going to become an adult.
Well, no. You might not become a parent.
Probably not.
No.
I lost it all in a terrible accident.
That one. When you fell off your bike.
Yeah. Straight onto a loot box.
Corner of a loot box.
Oh.
Just chopped it right off.
Yo, corner of a loot box. Something in there. There's something in that.
Yeah. But yeah, loot boxes.
Number one.
Not that bloody bad.
No. Let's buy one right now. Let's buy one right now. What's your favourite? What's the best loot box you ever bought?
Oh my god. I bought a FIFA pack the other couple of weeks ago where Team of the Season had come out on FIFA Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
And I opened a pack and my friend James was over and we thought we need some more coins to be able to do something else for our team. Well, our team's quite good on Ultimate Team. We opened a pack.
Bragger.
It was Team of the Season, Alexander Lacazette, who plays for Arsenal. We went mental. Then we looked at what he was worth on the transfer market. It was 1.3 million coins. We went mental. We ran outside with our tops off. Then I stripped down to my knickknacks and just ran around the carpet outside my flat.
Oh. Well, run around the carpet, you said.
Sorry, run around the car park.
Yeah, with your carpet out.
With my carpet
with
out.
Your loot box flapping around in the wind.
Mental.
Really?
1.3 million coins. It really did. It changed.
It changed my life.
We spent the rest
online.
We spent the rest of the night. Changing our entire team essentially.
That sounds magical.
It was absolutely brilliant. I won't lie.
I love loot boxes. Hashtag I love loot boxes. Well, I suppose to wrap up, again, we've come up with relatively similar things in the same ballpark. Online gaming is devaluing the video game experience. Now, I'm not going to talk about loot boxes because you've covered that.
Okay.
This would be an element. The other element would be that the rise of multiplayer gaming means that campaign modes on other games are suffering, becoming less interesting because people, publishers, game designers are promoting this multiplayer experience at the expense of narrative.
Okay.
It's sort of the same as what's said about Assassin's Creed. Things like COD, things like Call of Duty, 6 or 7 games, good fun. But as multiplayer became more and more important, the campaign mode became less interesting. More disjointed, not nearly as fun. Halo was the same. Games like Destiny try to kind of straddle the ground between single and multiplayer, end up being really mediocre.
Yeah.
I think, again, in terms of immersion, single player campaigns or someone comes around and you play with a friend is way more to it than just putting your headset on, playing with 10 different people that you've never met. I think obviously trolls is a massive aspect of this. You get some arses playing, of course you do. Arses. It's always going to happen. There's nasty people in the world. There's something about the anonymity, I think, or being behind the masks of so-called online gaming that means people are more prone to being, I don't know, racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever.
That's everything, Twitter and
it's not just online gaming,
everything.
But just because you hear it,
just the internet,
person to person,
horrid.
that's why it is, of course. And gaming, you do see red and you get angry. We all have, that plays a part, I think. I think a massive part of it is this kind of blockbuster trap. I saw someone write some really interesting points about this, in that publishers rely on surefire hits instead of investing in real storyline innovation.
100%.
So all this kind of like, it's open world where you can play with your friends, it sells. There's a demand for those kind of products, and publishers kind of imitate games that are kind of sales winners, basically.
Yeah.
Most designers. So there's some amazing games. There's indie labels that do some fantastic kind of single or multiplayer games that are not online. They don't want to take risks. Just the same as whatever. Music publishers don't want to take risks, and copying past successes is a really great way of doing that, and it really is no more evident than in the kind of online multiplayer world, where there's kind of open world kind of, everyone's running around killing each other, stealing your kills. There's an obsession with kind of online gaming, and people will keep spending money, like you said, on loot boxes, and this just leads to an ever increasing reliance on those kind of surefire games.
Yeah.
And I know that I maybe, because I've never really been super into online gaming, that might sway me a little bit, but I just want the experience that I paid for, and I don't want some guy hurling abuse at me, and all the franchises that I like getting made online now, like Fable. I played 1, 2, 3. Okay, there was an issue, Microsoft bought them out and all this kind of stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to put it on Connect, or we're going to make Fable Legends, and it's going to be multiplayer and it's going to be online. It bombed because nobody wanted it. Nobody wants those games. The whole premise of the game was you or a friend played it, and it was a story, and it was magical, and it was funny. I don't want it online. There's this assumption that everybody wants online gaming. Well, not everybody.
Well, I mean, you've only got to look at Fallout 76.
Exactly.
Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Huge games, hugely popular. Fallout 76, I think, was legitimately discounted to, I think, £25 within a week and a half of release.
Wowza.
It bombed.
That was so glitchy as well. There's another thing, and that is this is a vicious cycle of releasing low quality games. So the publisher sets these crazy goals, which leads to crazy development goals, and then they have to meet the cost, scope, dates, whatever, KPIs, which means they compromise quality to hit the goals. Then you ship an inferior game, the game performs poorly.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you have to improve, and then they release mental patches. We've seen it with Red Dead Online, Fallout, etc. 30, 40 gig. Basically, you've got to download the game again because we've shipped it too early, and it's rubbish. Yeah. And especially online, it's really affecting the way that games are made, the way that games are promoted, and so many of these big companies like EA, whatever, are buying out innovative, creative indie studios and just turning them into rubbish. And I don't like that. No. I want some amazing indie labels to do some amazing things. I don't want the same kind of games. It's just boring.
It stifles creativity.
There's no creativity. I know.
Makes, I think, a homogenous kind of idea of what a successful game is. I think if you're not hitting Fortnite numbers, you're not a success. Yeah. If you're not hitting, the engagement of Apex Legends or this or that, then and I think it's one of those situations where we by no means have any issue with developers. The developers are doing the best they can do.
They're doing what they're doing.
I mean, the people that developed Fortnite, Fortnite as well, but Fallout 76, as I mentioned before, they're guys that love the Fallout series.
Of course they are. Fallout was amazing, but
it's publisher demands. I mean, talking of we talk of FIFA, with EA being one of the most just awful companies that do this.
Shameless,
voted consistently the worst company in the world.
Yeah.
You think of say Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Those developers are Star Wars absolute obsessed.
Yeah, of course they are.
But the publisher being the overarching kind of
The god, the evil villain in this scenario.
yeah,
Yeah.
the dark side. They're essentially, it needs to be this, and you need to hit this,
Yeah.
and it needs to be out by this date, and yeah, it really is ruining games.
It's devaluing
games
it. Yeah.
And I think most people's favorite games, who really says, "Oh, what's your favorite game?"
This is exactly
and they
it.
say a multiplayer game.
It ain't
People
Halo
don't
5 online, is it?
No,
It isn't.
No, it's Halo 2.
It's Halo 2. Yeah.
Or it's
or whatever.
it's
yeah.
not Fallout 76. It's
No,
Fallout 3.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
it's again, it's a gimmick that's caught on, and it's great for contacts. You online game, and it's big for social stuff and talking to people and keeping in touch. And it is a community thing for sure. When it's positive, it's a positive community
and competitive stuff.
And
works,
competitive
like
is great.
FIFA racing.
Yeah, it allows you to play with people all over the world, and that is very cool.
Yeah.
But it does come at the expense of good, fun, in-depth single-player campaigns.
Without doubt.
With a COD or whatever. Oh, yeah, it's a single-player campaign, but it's rubbish.
Yeah.
Just go online.
Yeah.
But most people want to go online anyway, but they
Yeah.
don't. It's a 50-50 split. I would actually say it's probably more people don't want to go online than do. It is a 50-50 split. Make a great single-player game, or make a great multiplayer game, or make a great single-player campaign and a game that has great multiplayer elements as well.
Yeah.
Online.
I think that should be the thing going forward.
Yeah.
I mean,
why have I got to why has my experience got to be
yeah.
sacrificed and compromised because they're making it for some guy that sits and plays online all day? This doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why
Especially
can't I
if
have
it's
what
an established single player type?
Yeah.
I think that's when it's most egregious. Is when
It
like
is.
talking of the Fallouts,
Like
you take,
Fallout,
you
like
take
a Halo,
that and you think
like a Star Wars, like
exactly.
like a Fable,
you take
whatever.
a property which is loved because of its single player dynamic, and you make it into a kind of grindy, shooty, or overly microtransaction multiplayer sort of game. And it's not. That's not what it is. I mean, all my favorite games are single player games.
Agreed, 100%. Yeah.
And the argument that they don't do well, I think, is just so stupid.
No, it's not true.
I mean, it's just God of War.
Yeah,
Massive.
you came out with the stats earlier.
Yeah.
The whole industry is worth billions.
Red Dead Redemption 2 launched without a multiplayer. It didn't impact its first day sales.
No,
I mean,
no, it didn't, did it? And the multiplayer's consistently slagged off as not being
pretty
great.
much.
So
that
you
game
don't
didn't
need
get
it.
tens across the board because of its multiplayer.
No, it didn't. No. Yeah. If you want multiplayer capacity, great. Either make a multiplayer game, or make a great single player campaign and a great multiplayer campaign, or online capabilities.
Yeah.
Don't sacrifice my experience for a cheap buck.
Yeah,
would be my point.
Yeah, and I agree. Even though I play a considerable amount more online play than you do.
Yeah. I used to play with my brother a lot, but
I don't. I don't play a huge amount, but I do play.
Not to say it's not fun, and not to say there's not some great multiplayer stuff out there, because there is. But it can't be argued that it's not affecting game design, because it definitely is.
Yeah, and I think it adds up with everything, doesn't it? It's the use of microtransactions, the use of online. It's all within the same sphere, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, all our points very much.
I think it's
are in league with each other, really. Yeah.
But yeah. Stop making bloody online games.
That's it. It's just a bit annoying, isn't it? Really.
Give me my favourite game of all time, The Last of Us.
Venga Boys, the dance off, something like that. Something like that.
You love the Venga Boys today, didn't you? What have you got about the Venga Boys?
We go into Ibiza. It sounds a little bit eat pizza. I always used to sing that. Little joke of mine.
We're going to eat pizza.
Oh, a little bit quiet, a little bit funny, isn't it?
You're fat. What?
Well, anything else you want to say?
No, I've said all I need to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've said all I need to say.
Any other controversial things that you'd like to spout before I leave?
Backwards compatibility. That's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a bonus round. This, isn't it? Yeah. I made a list of games that I think are really good backwards compatible games.
Yeah, because
you don't like backwards compatibility at all.
No, it's not that I don't like it,
but you think that
it's that I think when the polling data suggests
Yeah,
that
nobody's using it.
people on upwards, I think, of 70 or 80% say that it's it's a thing that they want desperately, and the usage is about 20%.
I think the thing is, like you said this before, nostalgia plays such a big part that that
Yeah.
game is amazing. Then you play it now, you're like, that's rubbish.
That is bad, isn't it?
But why? It's fine. I think you should be allowed to have the choice to play those games. You know,
Yes.
because if people got nostalgia, is such a big part of it. I played this amazing game. I'd love to
Yeah.
be able to play it now. Now you can. So, but it's within their right to go. Actually, it's not as good as I remember it.
Yeah.
But at least I've had the opportunity to play it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
I agree. I just think it's made this generation especially. It's been made a massive deal of, and I think that it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. When I first heard about it, I thought it was
PS2
amazing.
games, just buy a PS2. They ain't that much.
Yeah. What is it about that? I thought that. Is it because people have moved on from that technology? Is it
Yeah.
because people don't want multiple consoles in their house? It is quite annoying.
If you're so desperate for it, though.
Oh, you could buy a PS1 for
Yeah.
£5. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I think it's. I have nothing against putting it in. I just know that I don't really play old games.
Thing is, I
that-
do.
And
This is the thing.
no, you don't.
I do.
You're part of that small percentage then that want
Yeah.
it and actually use it.
I do. Yeah, I've got a 360 anyway that I will use. But if it is backwards compatible, I will play it. Just in the same way that if they redo an old game, now they've just announced that they're redoing Destroy All Humans, which was a fantastic game.
So good.
Cannot wait to play that.
Yeah.
Will I wait now? Yes.
Yeah.
Did I buy Skyrim on Xbox One? Yes.
Yeah.
Did I play the Ezio collection, which they redid for Xbox One?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I'm well.
I love it when they redo a game. I can't wait for them to redo Red Dead because they definitely will.
I don't like which is I think what they will do with Red Dead. I
Yeah.
don't like a HD skin very much at all.
Really?
But give me a Ratchet and Clank where they rebuilt the entire game. Give me a Spyro. Give me a Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, where they rebuild it from the
give me a
ground up.
Crash Team Racing where it's a rebuild.
Venga Boys Dance Off extravaganza.
Give me a Venga Boys Dance Off 3.
Yeah. There's 3? Oh, my.
You know,
I need to go and buy a
a
PS2.
complete rebuild. And I mean, one game that I absolutely cannot wait
Yeah.
for is Medieval.
Remaking.
Remaking Medieval from the ground up.
Wow.
And that game is like my childhood personified.
Yeah, that's
I love
amazing.
that game
I really
so
want a
much.
redo of Area 51. Don't know if you ever played that.
Oh, yeah.
That was when you would actually go around Area 51 and
Yeah.
you'd find
Yeah.
you'd find files and you'd be like, oh my god, like Bigfoot's down here. Oh, it's amazing. You'd find the spaceships and stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But yes, I've played it. Normally, if there's a game I really like, I'll play it probably 3 times,
Yeah.
2 or 3 times over the course of whatever to 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So I've played all the Assassin's Creed maybe 3 times. I've
You
played
haven't,
like
yeah.
Batman twice, etc., etc.
Yeah.
If I really like a game, like I really want to replay Fallout 4 in the next few months because I just feel a yearning for it. I like to do things differently to how I did the first time,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So I think a backwards compatibility holds more of a place in my heart because I have gone back and replayed,
Yeah.
an Alan Wake or a Fable or whatever.
Yeah.
I've
What have I played multiple times? I've played The Last of Us
oh well, of
3
course,
times, I think,
yeah,
and that is by far the most.
yeah.
Wonder what else? What else have I? It's normally things that I've played GTA 5 twice just because
I played it
on
twice.
on PS.
Yep, I played it
3
twice.
and on 4, and
That's
just
right.
redid the story. It's mainly that. I mean, I played Last of Us
Yeah,
on PS3. Then I played the PS4 release, and then I think I played the PS4 release again.
yeah.
Which is unusual for me. It's normally across generations that I
That's
do
it.
a game twice.
And you're a big kind of new release guy. You always keep an eye on what's coming
Yeah,
out and stuff.
yeah.
And I buy a new game occasionally, but normally I'm 6 to 8, if not 12 months behind, really, in terms of new releases.
Yeah.
Normally a price thing. I'm not really willing to spend crazy money initially. But also there's so many other games that I'll replay sometimes I've bought a new game and then I've played an old game, then I've got a new game, then I've played an old game.
Yeah.
So in the end I've only played maybe 5 or 6 games in a year because actually half of what I've played has been a replay of an old game. So
yeah.
I don't have a problem with it if the story holds up and whatever.
Yeah.
But
think
yes,
for
I
me
know what you
it's-
mean.
It's
I
mainly,
know what you mean.
It's mainly the pitfalls of the gameplay that upset me.
When you compare it now,
Like, for example,
it is. Yeah,
one of
they're
my
not as
favourite
good.
games was Shadow of Colossus.
Yeah.
And I went back and played
Really?
it was just a HD skin,
Mm.
and it was so unplayable.
Really.
It was so
That's
unplayable.
such a shame, isn't it?
It's so hard to play.
It
And-
is sad when
And
that
it's one
happens.
of those ones where, like, I got the misses, and I was like, "Oh, they've done this."
Yeah, can't believe it.
And I was like, "Oh my god, you have to watch this game."
Mm.
And you sort of do it, and you think, "Oh no, it doesn't look
Oh
good."
no.
And I have such fond memories of that game, as do many other people. But it plays so
Doesn't hold up.
badly now.
Yeah, I thought that about Fable 1 actually, but yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. These old games, you hold so much.
Yeah.
You know, you revere them, rose tinted
Nostalgia.
glasses and all that, and you go
Yeah.
to play them now. What can you
Yeah.
do? But I think
no,
I like having the opportunity to.
I
anyway.
definitely think you should. Yeah, without doubt.
It would be really sad if we got to this stage and we didn't. You know, you just can't play any old games anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it would be sad.
And
so.
all the upcoming consoles are having it. I think it's confirmed.
I'm
that
happy
they're
about
both gonna
that.
Have them.
I'm happy about
so
that.
that will be good. But
Yeah.
yes, that is a
Wowza,
rather
wow.
long
That is deep. That was a
Megaphone
deep dive,
Monday.
wasn't it? Yeah, but very informative, very enlightening.
on gaming. That is something we don't cover massive.
Yeah, we're music and wrestling.
massively on
But
there.
sometimes we'll
but
talk gaming, sometimes we'll talk
We
movies.
both love gaming, so
That's it.
just before we go, why don't we just have just so that the listeners can get to know us
Yeah,
slightly better?
yeah.
Just drop me.
Take your shirt off, run around the car park.
Yeah,
Why not? Or the carpet
or the carpet.
with a VR headset on. Ooh,
Ooh,
I'm bumping into
I
stuff.
bumped into a loot box. Me cock's falling off.
Put it back on. Stick it back on.
Hit me. Just.
I'll hit you.
What's your favourite game? Maybe your top 3, or just some games you love.
Oh
list them
goodness,
off.
it's tough, isn't it? I mean, Red Dead 1 and 2 would be in there. I sort of view them as a joint experience now, really.
Pretty much.
Both of them, you know. Really like Witcher. Really like Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I really liked. Oh, it's tough, isn't it, when you think what are your actual favourite games?
What's your favourite Assassin's Creed?
Oh,
be 3,
it
isn't it?
would be.
Brotherhood.
It would be 2 or Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of which would just anything Italian Renaissance for me was just because I really like that anyway. That was really, really cool. Yeah, that would probably be my top 3, but it's difficult.
Okay.
I mean, I liked Skyrim at the time, but then I replayed it. I was like, actually, I'm not
Yeah.
really that bothered. It's so long.
Yeah.
Destroy Humans would have been up there. I really loved that.
Yeah, that's cool.
What else do I own? I used to love Alan Wake. Yeah, difficult.
Yeah.
I've probably owned about 10, 15 games now. That's it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
Assassin's Creed's got to be the top,
that's
innit?
Jack. I think so.
It's gotta be the top.
You love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Probably go and play it now.
Yeah. Pop it on now.
Yeah.
We also, as a collective, our favourite game is Everybody's Tennis.
Everybody's
Yeah,
tennis.
talking
Dub,
of
dub,
I
dub,
don't believe
dub,
in backwards
dub,
compatibility. We are obsessed with playing Everybody's
yeah,
Tennis.
in Japanese, as originally intended.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, we're nearly top level in that now, aren't we, mate?
If you come over, we spend 90% of the time podcasting,
Mm.
and then at least 20% Everybody's Tennis. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how the maths work. on
No,
that.
the numbers don't lie.
No,
Perfect 10.
absolutely. But yes, I'm like we said, single player, story driven games.
Yeah.
So, Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, the Resident Evil 2 remake, another
That's cool.
just
Yeah.
amazing game, rebuilt from the ground up. Played Spider-Man, loved it. BioShock 1,
Mm.
Alien Isolation,
The Sims busting out. That was a great game.
Venga Boys Dance Off 3,
Yeah, and 4.
2 was a low light though.
Yeah, didn't like 2.
You know.
Well, it was all the knockoff stuff. They did a lot of S Club covers. I wasn't really into that.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I want the originals.
Yeah.
Give me the greatest hits.
Give me the green light. That wasn't in there.
No.
Well, yes, I'm sure we can ask the lovely listeners, what are your favourite games? You know, on the spot now, there's probably loads I haven't thought of, but maybe we'll do some tweets about gaming and things.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. Rock Roll Up Pod on Twitter, Rock and Roll Up Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, on all the things streaming wise. We're on Spotify,
Yeah.
we're on SoundCloud, we're on Stitcher, we're on YouTube, we're on iTunes.
All of it.
All right.
Take your pick.
Take your pick. Listen to it once on everything. Review, rate, like.
Once on everything.
That would be great for us,
I'd love it
analytics-wise.
If you could get every device at once synced, playing the
The
one
old,
episode.
the old surround sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pure surround sound.
Pure.
You could do your you could do your chores in your house.
Yeah.
But as you walk in every room, you could still hear it.
Oh, any room of the house.
Do that.
Get one of those sort of Bluetooth speakers for the bathroom. In the bathroom.
If anyone would like us to send them an MP3 file so they could burn it to a CD and then use their Walkman,
Oh, throwback.
then
I'll be willing to do that for a price.
yeah,
For, for kind of a loot box price.
a loot box.
Looking at $25 to $30 minimum for that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
no worries. But yes, thank you all for listening.
Thank you for listening.
And let us know what you think of our jingle
Oh my
down
lord.
below. Maybe
It's emotional.
we'll hit it once more. Hit that jingle.
Hit it.
Just another Megaphone Monday. Pretty powerful stuff.
Monday. I've been Jack.
I've been Kenny.
Peace out.
Big time.
Achievement unlocked.